Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to another Ask Me Anything. We're going to do a basic Q&A today. Everything is fair game in terms of nutrition coaching, nutrition, online coaching, training, anything along those lines, powerlifting, that type of stuff. As we get going, I'd love to honestly make this open access. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I will answer them right away. If you're tuning in right now, make sure to let me know where you're from. And if there's anything specific you want me to answer. Again, anything is fair game here when it comes to nutrition. Maybe you have specific nutrition goals for yourself. Maybe you're hit a plateau or you're thinking about doing a different approach. Ask me. I'd love to chat about it. I'd love to help you figure out a game plan, training, anything that's, specific goals for strength, muscle gain, how to use training to support or enhance fat loss. Online coaching, obviously the last, 5 years of my life have been specifically focused on how to build online businesses and how to support coaches in doing that. So if you had any questions about any of that stuff, social media, websites, anything along those lines, drop them in the chat. If you're tuning into the replay, feel free to leave a comment as well. And I'll get back to it later. I love to engage with you guys. One of the coolest things about this YouTube community has been getting to know you guys and getting a sense of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're at. And I know that is one of the biggest strengths of the Dr. Marc method. We were on a call last night with around 6 coaches, all really focusing in on what they needed to do over the summer to grow their businesses, to get more clients, to get them better results, how to grow, like all of those things, and having people, like-minded people that are trying to do similar things, that are interested in this stuff, the type of people that would coach others and guide others and support others, like with or without making money doing it, is just the coolest thing. So engage and let me know, kind of where you're at. I'm trying to think of, as the questions roll in and that type of stuff, let me know where you're from and where you're coming from and all that stuff, what you're trying to work on right now. If you have any specific things that come up, liking and engaging with the channel always in this video always helps push things further. So I'd appreciate it if you guys do that stuff. One of the big focuses of our call last night and diving into this stuff was right now on social media and how to get clients. Like, video is the most important thing you can do, without a doubt. And I know for so many people, getting on video and taking videos of ourselves is completely daunting. If you were to ask me 6 or 7 years ago, my comfort level with doing those type of things, I'd laugh at you. I'd tell you there's no way. I don't like the sound of my own voice. Who's going to listen to me? Who am I to say all of these things? And now it's just such a huge component of my business. We create at least 2 long form YouTube videos to post every week. I have a short form piece of content that goes out absolutely every day. I'm going on videos and all that stuff. It's one of those things where you can get better at it. So take comfort in knowing it does get better. And I'm going to want to answer. Aline, thanks for the great question. Hey, Dallas, thanks for tuning in, guys. Aline, thanks for the great question. I'm going to answer that in a second. The one thing I was going to say about video, though, and I'm doing it right now. Dallas and I connected on a call earlier this week. And I know Dallas is one of those people that is getting this stuff going. And is one of those people that, I could really help. When I'm getting on video, Dallas, I'm just using an example. When I'm getting on video, the one thing I'm focusing on is literally speaking to someone like him, or even visualizing him and thinking about speaking to him and only him, because that is the most helpful thing for me. It makes it so much less daunting, right? It's less like who's out there in the world, what are they thinking of what I'm saying, those type of things. I'm looking in that camera and I'm thinking about Dallas being on FaceTime and on the other side and speaking directly to where he's at and making it valuable for him. And when you do that, the process becomes so much less daunting. That was one of the big focuses on our call last night as we were talking about social media creation. Hey, Emily, thanks for tuning in. Longtime supporter of the channel. I always like to see your name pop up on these be it comments or whatever it is. So thanks for tuning in. Aline says, hey, I'm from Denver. I still am getting my certification, but I have no idea on what to start posting. Where should I start? What should I start making videos about if I don't have any clients yet or results? Okay, great question. So as you get started, there's a bunch of different ways to talk about like social media proof and that type of stuff, even without clients. You could talk about hypothetical scenarios in terms of like, here's what I see often, here's what the people around me are experiencing, pull from your own experience. The basic framework is like, here's where I was, this is what I was experiencing, this is how it made me feel, this is what I tried, this is what the biggest thing that helped. If that sounds like something that you're going through, let's talk about, places where I can support you or strategies and stuff like that. It's worth a conversation. Like that's what I would pull from based on your own experience and that type of stuff. Outside of that, Aline, like the first like 5 to 10 clients that are going to hire you as a nutrition coach are going to come from your social circle. They're not going to be random people on the internet, which doesn't mean that social media isn't important. If anything, it's just as important because you want to just let it be known that there's an opportunity to work with you. So I would just honestly just make it obvious that there's an opportunity to work with you. And the stuff that I would be posting is more like hand raising content around, if you're looking to do blank in the next time frame, let me know and I have a strategy for you. Let me know and I could help and that kind of stuff. Putting that type of stuff out, and then more like valuable based stuff in terms of suggested meals for an outcome, things that are helpful, things to look out for, that type of stuff, and blend all of those things together. And those are some of the things you can start working with. You don't, or posting. You don't need to wait until you have clients or things are really cruising to be able to do that kind of stuff. So that's where I would start. There's some industries that literally, for confidentiality reasons and stuff, they can't actually talk about their legitimate clients, like the people that they work with. So they got to find workarounds. And sometimes what they do is talk about the hypothetical situation of what would happen. If you're a female in this age group, here's what you need to think about. If you're a male in, with this type of role or this type of this age or this situation, here's what you need to focus on. Here's what you need to do. That's not saying like I work with those people. It's just saying like, I have the tools and strategies and knowledge to be able to work with those people. Is that helpful? But just keep in mind, like literally the first little bit, you just need to make it obvious that there's an opportunity to work with you. Most coaches spend the first couple of years of trying to make this, trying to get this going, just being educational and never really knowing that they're like letting people know that there's an opportunity to work with them. So I would just I'd make that known. You could do that through, like, I'm sure you have conversations with people that would be good potential clients. Like you could even frame those people out as like, I was talking to a potential client the other day and she was telling me this, which was interesting because this is the situation I found myself in, or, I was so engaged because I knew exactly how to help her because that's an experience that I've seen so often. Here's what I told her. Here's what I told him. This is what I would do, that type of thing. Just go about it that way is how I would, do that. Dallas, Emily, any specific questions that you guys have going on? The biggest thing is, and I would say as you get this stuff going, just make it obvious that there's an opportunity to work with you. One of the first activities we do in the Dr. Marc method as people get started is we give them the opportunity. And this is why, honestly, I don't want to sound, the reason why our students are crushing it and we have a really high success rate is that we give our students ample opportunities, tons of opportunities to get wins. Like we give them tons of opportunities and examples and strategies and opportunities to showcase what they're doing. And one of the first ways we do that, like the easiest way of doing that is just literally saying like, I'm taking a nutrition certification so that I can better help people. Follow along if you want more information, or, when I'm ready to start coaching people, like keep you in mind because I'm going to be able to help you. And that literally just connects dots where there's a lot of people already in your social circle, acquaintances, that type of stuff, maybe people you don't see all the time, but are already Facebook friends with you or follow you on Instagram or know you from way back when. They're just looking for that opportunity to connect and reach out and go from there. And if we can just give them opportunities to do that, that'll be the most amazing thing. Talking about your own story is one of the best things you can do. What are some of the best ways to learn from professionals with experience already? That's a great question. I think that one of the biggest things is mentorship opportunities have exploded over the last little bit in terms of there's plenty of opportunities in nutrition coaching, strength and conditioning for people to, in a paid capacity or a free capacity, to work with them, learn from them. Sometimes it's like courses. Sometimes it's going to be calls. I would honestly I would think about some of the people that I want to learn from and reach out to them and say, what are some opportunities where I can learn from you? I'm interested in hearing them all. And a lot of times, in my experience, I think I've always kind of, people think that others don't want to share that type of stuff. But in my experience, which can stop them and hold them back from reaching out to people they look up to or people that are just like a little bit further ahead of them. And it's like just the complete backwards thing they need to be doing, because those people honestly really want to share what they know. I do think the opportunities where you pay and invest are best for everyone, just because the mentor can prioritize it that way. You take it much more seriously. One of my biggest business lessons as someone that truly wants to help others is that those who pay attention. And when people don't, they're not a little scared, they're not invested, they're not bought in, they just don't put as much effort into it. So those, I think, are the best opportunities. But I would reach out to people and say, hey, what are some opportunities I can work with you and learn from you and kind of go from there. You also, especially, let's say, like, you could also, ask for a job, say like, hey, I really want to work for you. Like, what would that look like? And kind of go from there. And take that next step would be the biggest thing. Maybe you could work for free. Maybe you could do, different things. Maybe you could do some writing, depending on like your skill set. Maybe you could do some coaching. Maybe you could attend some calls. Like, maybe you could support them and work out different ways. And people are usually pretty like receptive to that stuff. Hope that helps. Aline says, since I'm starting, I posted on my Instagram that I was looking for volunteers just to see how it is. I received over 20 messages of people who are interested. This is mind-blowing to me. Amazing. That's just the power of making it obvious, right? Making it obvious that there's a next step, making it obvious that there is an opportunity coming. A lot of times it's one of those things where just making it known and telling people that there's something coming will get them thinking about that opportunity. And maybe even like, instead of going somewhere else or thinking about the next thing, they'll wait for it. So I think one of the most important things that you should do in that scenario is following up, being like, okay, I'm going to be ready to start taking on clients in the next 4 weeks, in the next 6 weeks, or at this time frame, or something along those lines. Stay tuned in the next couple of weeks for me to start collecting some information from you, so we can hit the ground running at this point, or so that I can, start coaching you there, or we can start talking about next steps, and then go from there. That's what I would do in terms of, if you think about the psychology of this stuff, it's like, let them know there's opportunity and just be obvious about what's coming next. A lot of times people just like, they're just not clear enough about what the next thing is. And that times that a lot of times will, allow people to like, start to, commit to that in their minds about when that would be and kind of go from there. Here's a good example. Obviously, New Year's resolutions and people getting started on improving their health habits, nutrition habits after the new year is very popular, right? Like, most people will want to do that. To me, if I was going to start like a new thing, be it like a challenge or something introductory at that time of the year, I wouldn't just wait until January to start talking about it and that kind of thing. I would say like December 1st, there's this thing coming in January. This is what it's going to look like, even if I don't have all the details hammered out, but just express the intent of doing something. So it's like, if you're this type of person and you want to achieve this challenge is going to be perfect for you. Let me put you on the wait list. Let me get collect your information now, and I can save you a spot when this starts, so that people are like, that's what I'm going to do in January, right? Even if it's not a done deal by any means, but you've started saying what the next steps are going from there. But that is, Aline, truly mind blowing. There's 20 people that are out there. If you could fill me in on your Instagram, in terms of what that looks like numbers wise, I think that would be really, really inspiring for a lot of people in terms of how many people out of the 20 is your total audience, because I think a lot of us are in similar situations. If you drop in the chat now, you're like, I have 100,000 followers. I'm like, oh, okay. But I have a feeling maybe it's not like that. Amazing. Aline just follows up and says, I didn't know that there's so many people interested, and I think I'll make videos with the struggles from them, and my advice. That's amazing. Especially, I think the advice around that is one thing that I've had to learn the hard way through time is that their struggles, use them verbatim, right? Don't put them in your own words and talk about them. Talk about them in the exact words that they choose, the things that they say, and kind of go from there. If someone's like, I'd really like to get toned, we're not like, well, toning's not a real thing. It's like, hey, I had someone that reached out to me the other day and said they wanted to get toned so that they could look great on the beach, and then kind of go from there. And kind of go about it that way. That was from my personal Instagram, which is private. I don't have a business Instagram yet because I don't know what to post. I don't think you need a business Instagram. I think it's already working, and I would continue on with that. And I think the people that know you and want to support you will want to see that stuff from you, even on your private page, right? Dallas says, in follow up to the question around what are some good ways to learn from professionals with experience already, I talked about just asking them and that type of things. Yeah, I can invest time rather than money, so that can help. Absolutely. I think you just make that clear in terms of what are some of the opportunities to work with you. Here's my experience. I'd have time to do some work if that's something where I can learn more about what you do and exchange, that type of thing. That could always be good. Emily says, do clients ask you what they should be eating, and what do you tell them? It's a great question. It's kind of leaning on, a lot of times your clients are going to have the perception that instead of you teaching them how to eat, you're going to tell them exactly what to eat. And there's always some room to be more prescriptive and explicit and that type of stuff. But many times people are already know what they need to do. They're not in a bad position. They just need to eat more protein, eat less processed foods, increase their servings of fruits and vegetables, make sure they're eating enough protein overall, make sure that they're, have an optimal level of food. So I think the biggest thing with the tracking based approach is getting them tracking, and make those tweaks and encourage them to do that stuff, but also letting them know that they're probably not that far off. And instead of telling them explicitly what to eat, which could help in the, immediate short term, you're going to teach them how to eat, which means that they don't need to have a complete overhaul, which many think they'll do. Right? They'll think hey, I can't do this right now. I got to wait until I get all new groceries, or what do I do? I need my diet so bad. And it's no, it honestly probably isn't. Are there some situations where it is? Maybe. But that's usually the exception and not the rule. So I would just tell them that instead of giving you something that is only going to last for a week and not really teach you about why you're getting results and help you build the habits that you need to do it for, the long term, you're going to teach them how to eat and give them strategies and get them tracking their food so they can realize a bit more about their food and kind of go from there. We have students that come into the program that, have seen some success personally with fasting or with keto or something along those lines. They don't even know tracking is a tracking based, is an option for them, is a viable way of doing it. So your potential clients probably don't either. So just, being able to teach them, because now you're collecting some information that makes it helpful to make more suggestions, because the numbers, because they're now so much more aware of what they're eating, because they're diving into that part, is helpful. What other questions you guys got? Training, nutrition, It's all fair game. Just pulling up a link here, guys. The one thing, if you guys have no clue about this, and this is the special surprise, I'm not sure you guys have gathered any of this at all. This guy right here, this says not for resale because it was a proof of the book. But in the next week, this is going to be released. I'm super, super excited about it. It's 300 pages. Let me see. I don't want to lie to you. 280 pages. It's 280 pages of just everything you need to know about nutrition coaching, how to get started, all the exact steps. It's going to be released next week. It has like not only like it has like throughout it, it has resources like to help you get started, like actual like there's if you see over there, like QR codes to all this type of stuff. The book, Emily, great question. The book when it's released to everyone else will be $40. It's going to be $29 for everyone on the pre-sale list for the first 100 books that we sell. Which, if you're not already on the pre-sale list, you got to get on it, which is why I want to drop that in the actual page here. So you got to get on there. I do believe you're already on my email list, so maybe you're already on it. But for anyone that isn't, you got to get on things right there. That would be that'd be the best way to get one of those. Like you're gonna get the actual physical copy of the book for that $29, which I feel like if you're someone that has been, I was scrolling through this and I thought I saw a typo, so I like literally can't multitask. There's been a lot of eyes on this book, but it's always nice to have more of that type of thing. Things will get missed, but yeah, I was like, oh man, I got to make sure that I'm, kind of go from there. I was hoping it would be signed by you. Oh man, we're gonna have to. I'm trying to think of how I can pull that off. Everything's run through Amazon, which will make it tough from that front. But yeah, I'm trying to it's not coming directly from me. You'll have to let me know if there's any opportunities for us to get one of those over, or email me right away and I can see what I can do if I can send you that. We're also figuring out how I can get a bunch of copies as well. But that's really, really nice and kind. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. So that's like honestly some of the most exciting news because I'm so pumped about all of this. Let me read you the back of the cover here. From Passion to Profit, that's the name of the book, is a first of its kind nutrition coaching book outlining a step-by-step roadmap that teaches nutrition coaches how to turn their passion into a business. If you want to start nutrition coaching, I'm excited for this to be in your hands. Inside, you will learn what you need to consistently get new paying clients and build a profitable business, as well as how to get clients amazing results with the science of nutrition and streamlined coaching systems. What's super, super exciting about this, and one thing that we did at the beginning was we actually put the how to get clients marketing stuff at the beginning of the book. First of all, there's not really other nutrition coaching books. There's nutrition resources and the science of nutrition and that type of stuff. No one's really teaching you like how to apply this stuff to people and help others. And the reason why we wanted to put the marketing part at the beginning and how to get clients is because for a lot of people, like that's going to be the hardest part. So we address that first right off the bat, which means you get to try everything else out on actual people if you're applying what's going on here. For a lot of people, this is going to give you the exact stuff, what you need to be doing to actually coach people and take this next step. I'm a big book guy, so this is sweet. Dallas, that's amazing. I'm really, really pumped. It's super exciting. It's quite high quality. Like I'm really excited to like have it in my hands and for you to have it in your hands because it's going to be one of those things where I'm hoping you get through it, have a bunch of sticky notes. It'll help you with a bunch of other things. It's a resource that'll be, have everything all in one place in terms of like what to do. And yeah, so next week, got to go from there. If you're watching the replay and you're not already on the list, make sure to get on it. I think we started talking about this week, and 80 people are already on it. And I can imagine by the end of the week here, there'll be quite a few more than 100, which means that we're only going to be able to offer so many of the discounts, as well as an exclusive bonus. You get the discount as well as an exclusive bonus for one of our paid products, one of our paid courses that we've never done before. So there's going to be more details about that as we roll it out. Cool. Anyone have any other questions today? We've been on this live for around 25 minutes now. If you're watching the replay, if you're tuning in, if you could hit that like button, support the channel, drop a comment later, everything helps. And make sure, Aline does have another question here that I didn't address. I almost missed it. But make sure you get on the pre-sale list for this. It'll be released next week, and you should have it within the week, which is super, super exciting. Aline says, it's important to set up a website, stand store, link tree. I feel like I'm already spending more money, not making any money at this point. If I really go all in. No, you don't need a website at the beginning or a link tree. All I would be sending people to at the beginning is from your social media profile is sending them directly to an application form, which you can set up through Google Forms, Wufoo, any of the form companies, Typeform, something like that. Really just focused on it. Doesn't need to be super flashy or anything like that. You really just want it to convert and people to fill you in. If you want some more details around what that form would look like, our 3-day challenge which is a free resource, would get you going on the next step and kind of go from there. That's what I would suggest. At the beginning, you don't really know everything your business will include, who you'll focus on, that type of thing. So going down the path of like landing pages, professionally designed website and all that stuff, it's just not necessary at the beginning. Like, could it help? Sure, it makes things look more professional, appear more professional, but you don't need it at the beginning. There's already 20 people reaching out to you that view you as the professional that could help them. So put all your resources into making sure that you know how to coach them, what that next step is, and kind of go from there, and then just continue to highlight the opportunity with people. That's how I would get started. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if there's any questions. Get on the pre-sale list, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, have a great day. Oh, I'm not exactly fully sure how to set up an opt-in email, a video with offers, and call schedule. I have a few examples, but I found a few examples, but still more. The email opt-in, the easiest way, like I use ConvertKit for everything, right? In terms of setting everything up email list wise, probably the easiest way, instead of doing something that's like newsletter based, that type of thing, I think what you want to do is give someone a lead magnet, like, which is essentially like some sort of like freebie that they can utilize that'll help them get started. So like a protein cheat sheet, or like, a sample meal plan or something along those lines. And then you can just set that up through like a ConvertKit landing page kind of thing. I have tons of examples of those. Like, you probably got onto my email list and came into this community through that stuff. Right. So I would go about it that way. But then from there, like, I wouldn't even view it as like a funnel. Like the funnel is something I'm a bit stuck on. I would just get their email, follow up with them in a sequence about the lead magnet that you sent over. And then from there, just start sending them emails around things that are like things that you talk about on social media. The exact same thing that, we talked about with Aline and how to start documenting things, success stories, problems, things that you find interesting. Like, I would just view them like as emails that you would send to a friend that are helpful. You kind of go from there. And then from there, you could just talk about different ways to help them, right? Postscript, if this sounds like something you need help with, here's the best opportunity to work with me. Go fill out this application and we can talk about coaching. Or have some time later this week if you wanted to get on a call and discuss where you're at and see where I can help. like things like that. Like I wouldn't overcomplicate it that way. Cool. Anything else for right now, guys? I'll wait another couple seconds. It feels like when I'm about to sign off, there's another question, which I love. So don't feel like you need to stop doing that. But if there's anything else, yeah, like fill me in. And your copy at a discount, like, $10 off. Plus, we're literally going to give you a paid course, which I'll release as we talk about it. Never done before when you buy the book on the pre-sale list. So you got to do it. This is going to take us considerable effort to pull off what we're going to do, but this is such a great community of people that want to help others, that are nutrition coaches. And I do view myself as, a leader here. So I want to do everything I can to support you guys. So make sure you get the book, especially if you've benefited from, my content, our approach, our webinars, our social media content, our freebies, our tracking sheets, that kind of stuff. Get on the list. It'll, help us continue to grow. Outside of that, that's it for today. Thanks for another Ask Me Anything, guys. It was great questions. This helps me connect with you guys, get a better sense of where you're at, what you need help with. So keep the questions coming. Keep the interactions coming. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment with any questions you have, and then we'll go from there. All right. Chat soon, guys. Bye.